Going on, guys? I'm going to do a real quick walkthrough on Navionics app and how I use it. Currently, right now, I'm in my basement. I do not have mobile turned on, and I do not have the Wi-Fi turned on. So this is running strictly off of GPS. Every time you load it up, you're going to have to go to the I agree. Click that. Okay. Now, I have mine just to show Saginaw Bay. I'm actually sitting in the middle of Grand Rapids. But I'll give you just a couple of overviews of what the buttons do and so some of the menus work. This arrow down here in the corner is your current GPS position. So if I hit this, it should actually go back to Grand Rapids and find me sitting in my house. Of course, you can zoom in from here and get down to pretty close to a street view level. Let's go back to the bay. As you scroll through, you'll notice a crosshair will pop up with a little question mark next to it, and that's actually how you can find out information about a specific location. So if we go to the channel, let's say, and I see this green icon, I want to know what that is. I can hit the button and it'll tell me that these are the GPS coordinates for it. It has a sounding reading. It's labeled as Saginaw Channel Buoy 21, and then there's some other options here. These aren't always most accurate. These are actually part of what they call the Navionics community. People can actually add things to this. So they're saying that there's either a submarine or land pipeline through NOAA. Sure, I don't have any idea if that's correct or not, but it gives me information about the buoy. If you do not fully agree with it, you can actually go in here to edit this information, and it will send it back to Navionics, and they will take all of the community's comments about that area or location, and they will try to keep that updated with the most correct information. Let's see. So if you were to actually go back to the map and pick this one here, let's rotate this again. You'll see I have this loaded in as spark plug red. They also say that it's channel buoy 11, and as you come in here, it'll actually give you a description of that buoy specifically. 11-inch green flashing light, period of 2.5 seconds, range of 3.5 miles. So it's good information to have. Go back to the map. Rotate it again. So you'll see this map changes. The reason it changes, let's get it in where you can see it, this little button here. These are your 3 maps that the Navionics comes with. It comes with the government charts, which is minimal information. This is typically what's on free maps, handheld GPSs, things like that. It's really not a lot of information. As you can see, you zoom in, there's just nothing there. It does give you some roads, but that doesn't help us out very much. The next map is the standard Navionics map. Sometimes it'll give you contours if you've downloaded that area. It's actually trying to think right now. I've got a pretty slow tablet here. There we go. So what this is telling me, this is 11 and 8/10 for whatever reason of a foot. I don't know how to get rid of that subscript. But as I zoom in, it's not the best information. The best map is the sonar charts. And what this is, people that have the option to share their information turned on, their device, as they troll through during the spring and summer, takes a depth finding and sends it back to Navionics, and they actually update their information based on it. And it only takes place when you zoom in to a specific level. So way back out here, you don't see anything, and the further that you zoom in, you'll get more and more detail. So you can tell that there's a 15-foot hole here with an 11-foot plateau here. And you can see I tried to fish that and didn't do too well. So I like using the sonar maps. They're going to be way more accurate. Now, this year, expect all of these depths to be off between 2 to 3 feet. Saginaw Bay has a little bit more water in it than these maps currently show. So now to how to use this. The menu button, I'm just going to leave this thing in this orientation. You can read it sideways. The main one you're going to use here is Archive. And Archive is where you're going to get to your waypoints, tracks, and routes. But we'll go through these real quick. Magazine and guides. Right now there's only 3 options in there. One's French, I think one's Spanish, and one's English, and it's how to pick the correct anchor for your boat. Weather and tides, you can add the location in there, and it will give you basic, solunar information as well as wind tables. And you can actually play it, and it will show you an animation over X amount of hours and how the wind changes. It only works to a certain zoom level, though. Once you zoom in too far, the arrows will go away. And there's a legend somewhere that tells you what the colors mean. So, back up out of this. Back to the map. Back to the menu. Charts and upgrades. So I suggest getting this nav module. What that does is it allows you to make real-time in-route modifications to your current track or route that you pick. I really don't know how to describe it without getting out on a snowmobile and doing it. But if you just try to pick the route in the standard map, I think you're only allowed 1 or 2 before it makes you buy one of these things anyway. But you're only allowed to pick like 1 or 2 waypoints. This allows you to pick endless waypoints, and it'll give you far more accurate information on it. You'll see here it says restore purchase. What that is if you buy one of these upgrades, let's say that your tablet or your phone gets destroyed. If you use Google, you can download the map, or the whole app again for free to your new device, and then you hit restore purchase, and it'll redo all of your modules that you've added outside of the Navionics purchase. Let's see, archive map options. Of course, this is where you can set your overlay. I leave Google on there. If you do no overlay, it's just basic topographic map. Terrain is kind of a hybrid. I like Google because you can get down to building level. It's just like looking at Google Earth. Safety depth is if you're actually in a boat and you hit, it's just like a shallow alarm. The advanced map options, I'm not going to get into all that right now. Let's see, settings. Community edits. That's if you want to be able to see community edits and make your own community edits. So if you go to a buoy and it's not there and it's 200 yards away, you can go in there and edit, say, hey, it's 200 yards away, send it, and it'll leave a blinking cursor there. It says that this is currently under investigation. Ranking, I don't really know what that is. It's just a bunch of usernames with numbers next to it. I have no idea. Sync my data. I love this. I have Navionics on my phone as well as on my tablet. I only had to pay for it once because with Google, you can download it to multiple devices. So for $15, I have it on my phone and my tablet. If I make a waypoint or a track on my tablet, as soon as I hit mobile data or hit Wi-Fi, the two will sync, and it's in real time. So if I had both of these on, my wife could be sitting at home watching the telephone, and I could be out with my tablet, and she could actually watch my track as I move. And every time I add a waypoint, she can see that. It's a good safety option. She doesn't have this on her phone. I've thought about putting it on there just as a safety backup. Of course, meters, feet, fathoms, kilometers, miles. these fuel units, cruising speed 20 miles an hour. What I did is I put that on there as an average speed that we typically ride when we're on the bay. I have no idea what my fuel consumption is, so I put a gallon an hour. What that is so that when I start a route and I want to know if I start at waypoint 1, go to 2, go to 3, approximately how long it's going to take me at X speed and how much fuel I'm going to burn, so I know if I can get back home or not. Screen on is so that it never turns off, and then you can actually log in with Facebook or Twitter and share your tracks or your waypoints with your friends. Don't be confused by this share tracks, which is actually to share it back with Navionics, and that's where they come up with some of these sounding readings for the sonar map. So let's see if we can stay in focus here for a minute. Now I'm in Southeast Grand Rapids, but I'm going to try to do this as if I'm sitting in the bay. So this yellow line was the last track that I made. So I was sitting at the lodge here at sunset, and I just hit start. And when you hit start, it'll ask you what you want to do, and I just hit new track. And as you move up here in this top center, it'll tell you what your average speed is, what your heading is, and you'll see the yellow line start to form behind you. As you get to places, you can hit the question mark, and you can hit add to favorites, and it will actually add a waypoint. You can name it whatever you want to name it here, and when you're all done, you hit add, and there you go. You've got your waypoint. Keep this thing rotating. Now, if you ever wanted to know about that waypoint, you can just go hover over it, and then it'll tell you, okay, well that was marker 5. We could call that whatever we wanted to. What was the depth contour there? Oh, it's 4 feet. Alright, so I'm notoriously bad for not naming my waypoints at the time. I do them typically when I get home. So when I go back out into the bay, well crap, what was this one? You know, I'll know, okay, that was 4 and I was in 15 foot of water. Oh, okay, that's the third one I was with Mike, and we still didn't catch any fish, so I can just delete that one, or I can name it something else. Now, let's say that Ralph's been catching all the fish this week, and he has a good set of numbers for you to go to. You can hit this magnifying glass, and then hit lat long, and it will bring up like a spinner. And you pick, see if we keep it focused. You just select your coordinates, and as you select them, it'll actually, you hit show on map, and it will show you specifically where on the map, you know, that waypoint was. I don't know a number to show you. If you like that number, just like with these ones, you hit the button, add to favorites, name it appropriately. You'll see this here. This is, you can actually take a picture. You know, I'm sitting here at my computer, so you can't see anything on it. But you can take a picture of the area that you're in. There it goes. Once you've taken the picture, let's just take a picture of nothing. Okay. You can go to the archive, photos, and you can see pictures that you've taken and where you took it. So if you want to take a picture of your buddy with that trophy walleye, take the picture, add it to the waypoint, and then you'll know later, hey, I caught that fish at this spot. So the archive, you'll see tracks, routes, markers, and photos. Tracks are pretty self-explanatory. Again, name them what you want. You click on the name to show it. Okay. You click on the box to bring up the option to delete it. Or you can click on the arrow. Whoops. for more information on it. And that's the same with all of the options under the archive. If you go to a route, it'll tell you you have a route planned at 3.8 miles. It's going to take you 3 hours to do it based on the speed that you told it you're going to go. As you start to navigate with this, you will see the arrow and a way, what do they call that? A heading line telling you which way you should go. It'll tell you if you're left or right, east or west, off of course, what your course correction needs to be to get back to where you have to go. Again, without actually being out there on a machine, I can't show that to you sitting in my basement. But the concept is there. And then again, markers are your waypoints. I should probably delete all of these because there were no fish anywhere. So if you're trying to steal my waypoints off of this video, good luck. We didn't catch anything in 4 days. But really, that's pretty much it. Oh, this guy down here, this is your measured distance, and you just drag it to 2 different points, and it'll tell you, it's approximately 2.5 miles from point A to point B. And as you move them, it's pretty real time. It's just for using approximations. Hopes this helps. If you guys have actual questions on this, put it up in the thread. I'm not opposed to going out there and firing up a machine or getting in my truck and actually showing you some more of the navigation details of it. But I think this will get you at least started to where you can figure out the rest on your own. Okay, bye.